Concordia University is pleased to have Major General Larry Shellito as its 2014 commencement speaker. Retired Major General Shellito was appointed as the 17th Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs in January of 2011. As Commissioner, General Shellito assists the state's 380,000 veterans and their families. He represents the department at hearings before Minnesota legislature and U.S. Congress and maintains a close working relationship with the veterans organizations of Minnesota. Commissioner Shellito began his military career in 1968 when he enlisted in the United States Army. In 1973, he joined the Minnesota Army National Guard, where he served for 37 years until his retirement in 2010. Commissioner Shellito holds an education doctorate from the University of Minnesota and a master's and 2 undergraduate degrees from Minnesota State University Moorhead. He is also a graduate of the U.S. Army War College. And I found out last night he likes to fish near Alexandria. He and his wife Yvonne live in Woodbury and have 2 adult daughters and 3 grandchildren. Please welcome Commissioner Larry Shellito.
To my fellow veterans, welcome home. Dr. Reese, to the administration, to the faculty of Concordia and their staff, I see a lot of family and friends here. You can be congratulated also, because I know you were there with them. And especially to you, the graduating class. These are the toughest. I do a lot of public speaking, I'll be honest with you, and these are probably the toughest. The economy is a little off cycle. The environment is very, very competitive, and we're not sure what's going to happen down the road. Now, I'm going to use the quote of the mother of a famous philosopher. Life is but a box of chocolates, and you never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump. And when I first saw the movie, and every time I hear that phrase, it just registers with me. Here's my example. As a young high school graduate in Moorhead, Minnesota, everyone went to either Concordia out of Moorhead, if you had the money, or you went to Moorhead State. Well, we did not have the money. We're a very poor family. So I went to Moorhead State. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I graduated in 4 years. I had my dream job, I had my dream girl, I had everything going for me. I interviewed for the job. They flew me in, even first class, to be interviewed. And at the end of the interview, speaking to the CFO, or the CEO, he said, I just have one more question to ask. Where are you with the draft board? And I said, I don't know. Well, if you get that sorted out, you're hired. You'll be in our management training program and you'll be moving on. Went down to the draft board. Back then, before your time, they used to have big IBM printout sheets. They flipped it open, found my name. You're graduating in June, is that correct? Yes. Well, you'll get your draft notice in either April or May. You're going. Lost the girl, lost the job, everything, and my life was turned upside down. I will tell you, it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Let me explain. One, it got me away from home, out of town. I went through, because I had a degree in accounting, I should obviously be in finance. The guy next to me was a CPA, and he says, maybe I should. And we both were infantry. I went through basic, AIT, went through the officer candidate school, got my commission, stayed on. They sent me to jump school. I'm a certified parachutist. They sent me to Panama. I'm a certified jungle expert. And then they gave me a gift that's been with me for the rest of my life. They sent me to Vietnam as an advisor, where I lived with me, the only officer, and 4 enlisted, 3 E7s and an E6, and if you haven't been military, the person next to you is, and they'll explain that. But these were all subject matter experts. We lived in the village, and I learned a new culture. I learned a new philosophy, I learned a new way, and I was far more introspective of myself and what I wanted out of life because of that. Concordia, you can say that was my religious experience. I did that, and I came back home, and something happened by accident. My sister lived in LA at the time and said, "Why don't you stay with me for about a week, and then you can go back home?" And I said, "That'd be fine." For a week, she was teaching at the time. I laid on the beach. I did nothing much more than do that. She'd take me out at night, and I would have a good time. And then finally, she put me on the plane and sent me home to Mom. And that was the important part, because I was ready to see Mom. So now, where do we go with this? Life is but a box of chocolates. Everything that I have been successful in my career, I didn't know what I was going to do, so I was fortunate to have a university that would take me in, and I picked up a second degree. I didn't know what I'd do, and I said, well, it's a teaching degree, and you can finish it in a year. That's a real management decision. Why are you taking these courses? Because I need time to kill. I need time to regroup. Best thing that ever happened to me. The Lord was watching over me. And as I did that, they said, you have to student teach in a place called Alexandria, Minnesota. I said, no, I want to stay here. Yeah, but there's 2 of you, and he has a family and small kid. You're single. Why don't you just go do that? Do it for us. All right. So I took one for the team. They offered me a job. I was debating what I wanted to do, and when it was all over, I accepted the job, which lasted 31 years. I had 5 career changes during that 31 years. My claim to fame started out as a student teacher. Then I became a faculty member. Then I became a department chair. Then I became an institutional marketing coordinator. And then I became a vice president. And then I became president. For the last 9 years I was there. You are doing the same path that I took. I went back to school. I went through, I got that degree. The first degree I have never practiced. It was the second degree, like you are doing, coming back, making it happen. So as we look at that and we move on, I want you to know, if you're going to be like me and you move up the ranks, for example, in the military, I had to go to the War College. It was the identical same type of program you have gone through. I remember at night kissing my 2 daughters as they went to sleep, visiting with my wife, sending her to bed, then going downstairs for about 3 hours, going through the paperwork and the deals, writing papers, doing this, getting it all set. You have been given a gift, and you won't know it until a year or 2 down the line. The discipline to get things done. Now you're going to move on, and you will advance. I can predict it. So I'm going to give you the 3 key rules in business to help you advance. And I'm basing that on my 40-some years. I have 1,000-some employees right now. At the college, I had 400 and some. In the military, I was the commander, 10,477. I was sending them to 33 different countries in the world. And these core principles apply to each and every one of them. First of all, you will be hired and you will be retained based on your ability to get things done. Not worry about the next promotion, not worry about something else, but doing your job and doing it well, because management will notice you, will understand that, and then you will be eligible for promotion. Once you get promoted, it'll be a little different. You will be held accountable for getting things done through other people. My accounting taught me to be black and white. My liberal arts taught me to be sensitized and aware and totally of my surroundings and those things that are associated, with it. Your ability to get things done. And not as much fun, the third level, my job now is behind the scenes, making sure that those first two tiers have the resources, assets, facilities, ability, so that they can do their things to get things done. I don't necessarily know what I was going to say to you. You are an impressive group. You're an older group. You're a mature group. Don't ever, ever, ever discount that, because we who are hiring people are begging for you. You will do well. But again, focus on being a good servant. Serve your employer, serve your family, serve your Lord. God bless you. Thank you.